Track and field captain Kate Hargrove. Kate, thanks for joining me today. Talk first of all just about what events you compete in for the Tigers.
I run the 5K for track.
Okay. How'd you get into track and field? I also know you ran cross country for us as well. So.
Yes, cross country is probably my main sport, but I ran track through high school also. So I would say it's more of my continuation of cross country season, like staying in shape, and it's pretty much the same distance. So it's just getting good speed work in for cross country.
I know they're very similar sports, obviously dealing with running, but it takes up a lot of time. How do you balance the athletic side of your schedule with the academic and extracurricular activities you have to also do at the university?
I think it just takes a lot of practice. I've had a service internship as well as cross country and track and school, and there's days that I have to miss track for various events and I just have to run in the morning. But it honestly helps me keep everything in line because I have to get my schoolwork done in a certain amount of time. I have to be at practice. And it's just like a great outlet, honestly, for stress. I always know every time I come to practice, I'm going to have the team to talk to and kind of just relieve all of the tension and stress that's been building throughout the day. So,
what are some individual goals you have, and then also maybe talk a little bit about the team goals that we hope to accomplish this spring?
I would say individual goals are just to run my final meets, probably my last track meets ever in my life, the best that I can, and that our team is just very cohesive and everyone puts everything in that they have this spring semester.
And then this is your last semester at the university. Talk a little bit about your overall experience at Swanee.
Swanee has just been such the perfect place for me. Being from Nashville, I did not want to come so close to home, but it was the best decision I made in my life, and track and cross country have been such huge parts of that, and they've allowed me just running around the domain to get to know Swanee in a totally new way, so couldn't be more thankful for the past 4 years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck this year.
Thank you.
For joining us today. First question is just kind of what events do you compete in for Swanee?
Yeah, the events that I compete in are the discus throw, the hammer throw, and the weight throw. So I'm a field event person for track and field.
How'd you get into to the field events?
Well, in 8th grade, I was on a quest to find a sport that I was good at because I pretty much tried out for everything and didn't have anything that I was really great at. So I went out for the track team. Initially, I went out for running, which is crazy because I'm definitely not a runner. And the way the tryouts are split up is that the first day is running and the second day is field events. So I didn't know what to do on the second day since I thought I was going to be a runner. So the coach handed me a discus and was like, "Here, try this." So I threw it and I loved it, but I didn't make the team. This was 7th grade actually. And I found out my dad used to throw in high school. So I went home and we practiced all summer, and I came back the next year and I wound up getting our school record, and I just fell in love with throwing ever since. And then each year I added something different. So I went to hammer throw, and then I went to weight throw, and for a little bit I did shot put. But I was on a summer AAU team and we were just all throws, so I just really fell in love with it.
What are some individual goals maybe that you have this year, and maybe some team goals that Jeff and our coaches and maybe our senior class have talked about?
Yeah, some of my individual goals, I want to continue to break records. So for me, that's throwing, I want to get over 13 feet in weight throw, which might be a stretch because my personal record is 11.74 meters. And then I want to improve upon, when I came here, started focusing more on weight throw and hammer throws. I kind of want to pick up and improve more on discus before I graduate. So, and as far as teams, we always discuss beating yourself. So I guess that's just one of our major goals, is for everyone to get out there and to improve upon their scores from last year, their times. Because if we all can get a little bit better, then it makes the team better as a whole.
Speaking of the team, we have a pretty good senior class. How do you think our team has come together so far?
So far, I think we've meshed pretty well. I'm typically with the throwers, so we really haven't had a problem. Everyone's so welcoming on the team. If there's a problem, then there's no fear to ask for help. So I've never seen a problem in the 4 years that I've been here. that there's ever been a problem with like a division in grades or classes, I guess we call it now. So I think we're meshing pretty well.
This is your last semester at the University of the South. Talk a little bit about your overall experience at Sewanee.
Yeah, it's been such a ride, and I wish it wasn't over. I kind of wish I could set the clock back and do it all over again because it was just so much fun. But overall at Sewanee, I don't know, it's one of those things where you kind of have to come here and experience it, but it was just great. I enjoyed like the schoolwork, like out and the track team. It was a nice challenge, and like I said, I just don't want it to end, so it's going to be a bittersweet year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amy. Good luck this year.
Thank you so much.
The Sewanee Track and Field Captain Quentin Jones. Quentin, thanks for joining us today. First of all, what events do you compete in for the Tigers?
I competed in the 100 meter, 200 meter, and the 4x1.
Okay. How'd you kind of get into track and field?
Actually, in high school, I did pretty much any sport that I could, and track was one of the best sports. And ever since ninth grade, I've just been running.
You also played football for us. How have you made that transition between your football season that ends, in the fall, and then track, who of course runs in the spring?
Basically, what I think it comes down to is just getting as much rest as you can after football season, and I guess when the new year hits, it's time to get in the running.
What are some individual goals you might have this year, and then also I asked Zach and some of the other seniors the same question. What are maybe some team goals we have as an entire team?
An individual goal is to just be the fastest I can be, try to beat my personal records. And a team goal is just make each other better in any way possible and do the best we can at conference.
We tend to be a smaller program, but we've got a mix of newcomers, but also a lot of veteran people back. How do you think this team is gelling so far?
I think we're getting along pretty well. Got a couple new guys, as you said, and they're fitting in just as they should.
And final thing, Quentin, with graduation around the corner down this last semester, what has your overall experience been at Sewanee?
I guess I say my overall experience is being a student athlete. That's one thing I can say. You're a student first, and the athletics come last. And it's just been a great experience to get to do those things in that order, and just better myself and everybody else around me.
Sewanee Senior Track and Field Captain Zach Abels. Zach, thank you for coming today. What events do you compete in for the Tigers?
I compete in the 4, the 200, and the 4x4 relay.
Okay. How'd you get into track and field?
So when I originally came to Sewanee as a freshman, I was a transfer student from a larger state university in Virginia, and my original intent was to try to be a walk-on the basketball team, and I had a very fortunate opportunity to play for Coach Pearson and Coach Smith, and wonderful experience. But at the time, I was majoring in biology and a minor in Spanish, and there were some other players on the team who had done a little bit more in the past, and so I had to step away. But competition has been a very important part of my experience and being a part of a team at Sewanee. And so I had the fortunate opportunity to cross paths with Coach Heights, and we discussed the potential of becoming a member of the team. And I was very blessed to have the opportunity to switch sports, and here I am.
You started out running more mid-distance. Now you run more sprints. How are you liking that?
Yes, so in high school I was a cross-country runner, and when I originally joined the team, I talked to Coach Heights about how I would transition myself and my body back from kind of the basketball conditioning and the basketball mode into the track and field mode. And at first, practices were challenging, and I had to do a little bit more with the distance guys, and certainly a challenge as well. But now this year, coming back, I'm working as with the sprinters, and I just think the way that I've built my body up and the shorter distances are just a lot more up my path in terms of I just think I benefit a lot more and I can give a lot more to the team running these shorter distances.
What are some individual goals you have, and maybe some team goals that you and the other captains and seniors and Coach Tyson Rader, some of our coaches have talked about?
Sure. Well, in terms of my individual goals, I know my first year running, I didn't run last year because I was abroad. Now a double major in Spanish and biology, so I went abroad to do some things with my Spanish major. But I know my first year running, I really had a goal at the end of the season to be top 10 in the Open 400, and just missed out. I think I made some great strides that first season, but I really, really want to focus on being in the top 10 and hopefully competing in the finals for conference championships in that event, as well as the 200. Now, with that a part of my events that I compete in. And then, in terms of the team, there's always the goal each year. We're a little bit of a smaller team to build up the representation of the Tigers track and field. But on the flip side, we've just been fortunate in some ways as well to be smaller, because I think that we've really gelled. I practice with the sprinters, and I think that we have fun. But we work hard as well, and it's just a very good mix of guys that want to have fun and work hard as well, and we've just meshed really well. And so I've seen that as well, though, in terms of the whole team, the distance runners and the throwers. And so I just think we're always focusing towards the conference championships, which are in April, and we're always working towards that. And each week we're just trying to get better. And I know sometimes we've run bigger schools and higher levels of competition, but each time we step out there, we're just trying to put our best foot forward.
Being an athlete is one part of being a student athlete at the University of the South. How would you sum up your Swanee experience overall at this university?
Like you said, being a student athlete, the athlete portion has obviously been, I've just been very blessed to go from a situation where I was not competing, being a free sport athlete in high school, back to a situation where I have been able to have this outlet. And so that has obviously been, as you mentioned, a very important part of my experience. But overall, I went to a boarding school in high school where it was a very intricate community, and everyone, there was just very special relationships between coaches and professors and students, and I've been able to retain the same kind of relationships here and coming to Swanee. And on top of that, I just think, when you come to the mountain, it's a very unique place, and not a lot of people know about it, especially for someone like me. I'm from the north, 10 hours away. But when you come, everything from, the traditions like the cross and the quad to the competitive level I think we bring to the D3 atmosphere, as well as the academic rigor. I think Swanee is a very special place, and anybody such as myself who's been fortunate enough to come here is just truly a blessing.
What are your plans after graduation?
As a bio major and a Spanish major, I declared the double major, pushed my minor to a major for the Spanish part last fall, and it's put up a little fork in the road. But originally I had plans to go and study athletic training and hopefully pursue a career as an athletic trainer working for a professional sports team one day, hopefully. But I think I'm going to put that on hold, having been abroad in Spain last spring and pursue an opportunity to teach English in Spain for a year and devote a little bit more to that side of my studies, and then hopefully return home and continue pursuing my track to become an athletic trainer.
Awesome. Thanks again, Zach, for doing this, and good luck this year.
Thanks very much.